think of all the people that have cooked for you and fed you. When I think of my life, it's just one meal after the next. People loving me, feeding me, inviting me to their homes, asking me to dinner. When you think about it, our life is really connected to food and to sharing with other people. Jesus sat down over so many meals, and the ultimate meal, the Last Supper, in which he feeds us his body and blood as the Eucharist. We live in a world that in so many ways is literally starving to death. There's millions of people, especially in Africa and Asia, that are malnourished, that are underfed. And the scandal is there's enough food in the world to feed everybody, but it's just getting the food to the right people. We also talk about food deserts, places particularly in inner cities, they don't have access to fresh food, nutritious food, good food. First corporal work of mercy is feeding the hungry. And so first of all, we give thanks to God for feeding us with the Eucharist, feeding us with all that we need to live a good, holy, healthy life. But then we're called to feed others, to feed our families, to feed our neighbors, and especially to feed those who really struggle to put food on the table for their children. Throughout the Diocese of Gary, there's many food pantries, the meal sites, there's soup kitchens. There's all sorts of places that we can plug into and volunteer to help the hungry right in our own community. And then organizations like Catholic Relief Services help others overseas in a developmental way to be able to be self-sufficient, to grow their own food, to produce their own nutrition. In a world that in many ways is starving to death, we are called to live out that great mystery of the bread of life by feeding the hungry.
Hello, my name is LaShawn Jones-Taylor. I am the Program Manager for Emergency Services. Here at our East Chicago office, we have a food pantry to serve clients within East Chicago, Lake County, Porter County, Stark County, and LaPorte if they're willing to come this far down to us. For anyone that needs emergency food, we help supplement what you have. So we're not here as a grocery, we're here to supplement what you may be missing in your household. We are a USDA pantry, so we do not require any type of income information. We only need your proof of address. That's the only requirement that you would have to have, either an ID or a lease, a bill of some kind showing your proof of address. Then you will be given a short application saying how many people are in your household, your name, your address, and just a signature verifying a self-declaration of how much income you have in your household. But we don't ask for proof of that. And then everyone that comes in is served with groceries. We give you a choice with a shopping list showing you what we have available, and then we give you that plus proteins to supplement your household. And so that is our purpose and our mission here, that we want to feed our hungry neighbors, because whether it's my next door neighbor or someone in my community, if they need assistance, we're here to try to serve and assist them in any way that we can. Then that's what we have here in the food pantry. We bring in the same items that we bring into our own home, we have here in the food pantry to give to people who are in need. Yeah. And we try to treat everyone with dignity. We're not judging. I don't know what's happening in your household. Maybe today you had a car repair that you thought was going to be $100. It turned out to be $1,000, and now you're insecure with your food, and that's what you're coming for. Or you did other things that made you insecure. We do not judge. We treat everyone with dignity, respect. We have people that are very grateful that we are here, that we are able to assist. We also give them other options here to take what they have and make it stretch with our nutrition classes, with our budgeting class that we have here. We assist with utilities and rent when we have funding available, just to help people make ends meet.
Hi, I'm Mike Maloney. I've been volunteering with Catholic Charities for about 10 years. I've worked in the food pantry here for all 10 of those years, helping feed poor people from Northwest Indiana. I love my work. It's the best job I've ever had.
Hi, my name is Sayon Cohill. I have been with Catholic Charities not quite a month just yet. It's that feeling of service that you only get from giving. And I'm reminded of the Bible verse that talks about it's better to give than to receive. And when you are in a position where you can give to the community and you see that you're really meeting a need and people are very grateful for that, or we've even heard people say, I didn't know where I was going to get my next meal. I didn't know what I was going to eat. And to, have the ability to meet that need, this is an indescribable feeling, really. And it's not junk. It's not something no one wants to eat, but it's really good, nutritious food. We actually have some demonstrations on how to cook meals from the pantry.
Many of our families that come here today have been coming here for years. We have a good, solid senior population. And then, of course, we have the young families who unfortunately are still struggling. When they come in on Pantry Day, we serve our pantry once a month. It's on the second Tuesday of the month right now. We run from 10 to 2 o'clock. We provide a hot meal. Now that hot meal is offered to anyone who comes to the pantry. To get help from our parish, they would provide us with a photo ID and a secondary proof of residence. We service 6 communities at this time. We service the tri-town of Dyer, Cherville, and St. John, along with Munster, Highland, and Griffith. When you see a family walk in and you see them sit down to eat a hot meal and really enjoy the meal and maybe have 2 and 3 servings of the meal, you know that you're meeting the needs of at least that particular group of people.
We prep on a Monday, and then we finish up cooking in the morning on Tuesday.
But it's a real home-cooked meal.
It really forms a sense of community,
Oh,
not
definitely.
only within us, but within the clientele, because there'll be people that will be here for 3 hours. And so they're not just running in and getting groceries. They're coming in and they're having a meal, and it's like an old-fashioned family dinner, where the kids are there, and mom and dad are there, and grandpas are there, and they may not be blood related, but they're family together.
Sure.
And I think that's part of the faith aspect of it, is that building of community and support for each other, that we're here to be our brother's keeper, and we provide it in all sorts of ways.
I've gotten several times hugs from clients because they're so happy. And other times we have seen people cry literally because they appreciate how much we do give them, and not only in food, but as Karen says, in respect when they come here.
If a family comes in and they're not within our community, we still offer them lunch, so you don't feel like you're turning them away totally.
And if they're really in dire need of food, we will provide them for food for that particular day, with some references to other facilities within their location where they can get further assistance. I mean, the goal here is not to turn anyone away who really needs food assistance.
Today I had a woman that just came from her chemo treatment and was barely moving. She did have somebody with her, and I offered them the wheelchair, and oh my gosh, she was so appreciative of it. And I get that all the time, some little thing you think wouldn't mean much, and it does to them.
Many of our families that come here, they work either part-time, some full-time. But let's face it, the jobs available today, the salaries that are associated with those jobs are not always sufficient to keep a family going. So we recognize that they have choices, and one of the choices shouldn't always have to be what to feed your family. That we can help. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. If you are truly faith-based, you have to believe in other people, and you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I want to help you no matter what.
And it's not a matter of being judgmental. It's knowing that, we could be in their shoes if it weren't for the grace of God.
And I hope that if I'm in need, there's going to be somebody there to help. Because it just takes one crazy moment in your life to make everything flip. And all of a sudden you become dependent. And where do you go?
Right. I'm lucky to be the one here, helping to cook the meal.
Yes, we're all vulnerable to this. We are all vulnerable. We are going to begin a second pantry in June, which is Father's brainstorm again. Like I said, He is the insight behind us for sure. And it is going to be a non-food needs pantry. We all realize that with food stamps and limited budgets, some of the essentials that we all take for granted that are non-food related are also very expensive, and many families can't supply them. And that will offer families the opportunity to select from personal needs, kitchen needs, bathroom and toiletry needs, as well as miscellaneous items like batteries and diapers and postage stamps and light bulbs, etc. So that's what our mission is here, to help them, to be unbiased when we help them, and to provide them with dignity and respect. When you work in a community like we work, where we've got great support, great ideas, it's wonderful because you thrive. So we can do great things.